So you're a person who has been on the edges, in the middle of, surrounded by um, fame,
Mm.
the power of fame, the adoration of the crowd. They're like, wow. And they know you and they want to be close to you because you're not just Sandra Dee Robinson. You're Sandra Dee Robinson. I've seen you on this particular show, or I've watched you on television, right? It's both very, very enticing and also a little risky and maybe a little dangerous. Can you talk about your experiences with that?
Yeah, I think one of the things that I learned from that experience, if somebody says, "What's a bit of advice you would give?" And I learned really quickly, never believe what other people say about you, whether it's good or bad. Because if it's not God's voice and it's not it's not your intuitive voice, it doesn't belong to you. So that goes for people that say, "Oh my gosh, you can't do anything wrong," to the people that say, "You're fat, you're this, you're that." Because when you have that platform of visibility, that's going to come. And now we see it in social media, even for kids that are in school, and the bullying is now different than it was when I was in school. But it's still other people's opinion of you. And yes, it is intriguing. And it was fun in some circumstances for sure, because they would be so in love with the show, with the character that I was playing, that it was interesting to see that that made them happy to see me and the other cast members and to go to those events. What was scary about it was, yeah, I had, at one point I had somebody waiting outside my house, for many days, and I'd have people follow me home. And I was very afraid of people. I was afraid of touch in the beginning. I didn't grow up in a family that hugged. And so literally I was afraid of touch. So that's something that I also think that working with the horses has helped me a ton with, to be able to understand that, because a lot of horses don't like touch. To them, it's work. They haven't been treated well. And so it's so interesting that life can come back around again. And I can actually help people by understanding what it's like to go through this myself, as I'm watching the horses go through it. But one of the interesting things about meeting the fans, especially when I was on the soaps, because soap opera actors, and I know there's still some out there, not as many as there used to be, soaps, but we're in the living room every single day. We're with somebody every single day. And so they have a sense of really knowing us, as opposed to a film star, which sometimes people may hang a little bit back from. We would have people come up and just want to touch and hug. And it was a point of frustration and fear for me in the beginning, until somebody said, "Oh, sweetie," and it's the simplest thing on the planet. She said, "Just say, 'Hi, how are you?' as they walk up, and put your hand out to shake it."
So
They're
you
not going
shake
to hug you if your hand's out there.
Sure, just run. Okay, nice.
How
You know,
simple is that, right?
yeah,
I mean, and I still think of the day she told me that, I felt like a knucklehead, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, you just saved me."
genius idea.